Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Loria Yaden.
Thank you. Hopefully everyone's enjoying their meal and having a wonderful time and enjoying the company of your table mates. So now we're going to get on to the main event for today's program. Let's begin our awards presentations. So I'm going to ask our former honorees, the women who are already part of our community of honorees, to assist me in presenting these awards. So first, I'd like to ask Barbara Gastein to come to the stage. She's a 2004 Aiming High honoree and chairperson of Ally Bank. We're so pleased to have her with us today. Barbara?
Thank you, Loria, and good afternoon, everyone. It's a privilege to be here today to introduce my good colleague of the last 5 years and now good friend, Gina Proia, the Chief Communication Officer of Ally Financial. Before I take a minute to give you a glimpse into why Gina is so deserving of this recognition, I'd like to just give a special thanks to the firms who rallied behind this award for Gina and stepped up to be sponsors today. Weil Gotshal, Sullivan and Cromwell, Otterberg PC, LeClaire Ryan, Gray Worldwide, and Kext and Company. And thank you to the many firms that also made donations to the important Legal Momentum cause, in Gina's honor. You're all great partners to Ally, and I am thrilled that you share my high regard for Gina. As you may or may not know, Ally is the reinvented GMAC, the one-time financing arm of General Motors that became an independent entity in 2006. Ally today is pretty simple. It is the largest lender to auto dealers and retail car buyers, and two, its banking franchise, Ally Bank, is consistently recognized for setting a new bar for a simple, straightforward customer experience in banking. But Ally took a long, hard road to get here, most of it lurching from crisis to crisis. The good news is, eventually, just last year, we had an IPO and were able to repay the last of the US government's TARP investment. Gina has been a critical part of the Ally story from day one. She moved from General Motors to GMAC in 2006 as the company embarked on its transformation from captive lender to independent competitor. Her successful work in repositioning Ally's profile, however, was soon overwhelmed by the financial crisis. Gina was on the front lines of every challenge that Ally faced, from liquidity shortage to mortgage foreclosure crisis to bankruptcy of the mortgage subsidiary. Her instincts, judgment, and credibility were always second to none. She kept us off of the front page and without a foot in her mouth more times than I can count. At the same time, in her spare time, Gina made tremendous strides in evolving Ally's employee communications, social media presence, employee volunteerism and giving programs, strategic corporate grant relationships, and Ally's trademark financial literacy program. Ally owes much to Gina. What these results don't tell you, of course, is how much time and personal sacrifice were required, how much true partnership was needed, or how critical Gina's can-do attitude has been in bringing people along in her vision. The answer is huge on all counts. In 2010, Gina was named to PR Week's 40 Under 40 as someone to watch. She is still someone to watch. Gina?
Well, thank you, Barbara. That was incredibly gracious, and I just want to really start my remarks by offering my appreciation to Barbara Gastein. She's been a wonderful colleague, a tremendous leader at Ally. I'm grateful to have worked with her and learned from her these last several years. And as a former Aiming High recipient herself, Barbara consistently invested her time and energies in coaching, recognizing, and advancing women in the workplace, and her support of me is one clear demonstration of that. This warrants recognition because it requires a deliberate effort. It requires the most precious and limited resource for working women, which is time. And she made time, and I'm grateful for it. Next, I want to thank the team at Legal Momentum and recognize the great work that they do on behalf of women's issues. While I and my fellow honorees feel incredibly special to be part of today's event, the bigger victory is the fundraising surrounding this program and the great work it will support. While I was preparing for today, I began to think about the arc of my career and the key inflection points that led me to the big career opportunity. My journey actually started working on advocacy campaigns for women's and children's issues, and so this recognition from Legal Momentum is extremely meaningful to me and reminds me of the determination and exuberance that I started my career with over 20 years ago. As it turns out, my big career opportunity immediately followed a big life opportunity in that I was offered the biggest job of my career to date right after giving birth to my son. I was 36, a new mother, and offered the top communications job at Ally. We were at the start of the financial crisis. We were a new bank. In short, it was going to be the ride of a lifetime, and it has been. That was about 6 years ago, and given we live in an infographic world, here are the last 6 years by the numbers. 1 child, 4 preschools, 7 nannies, 3 houses, 200 press announcements, 1 corporate bankruptcy, which some of you might be familiar with, 3 reorganizations, 5 budget reductions, 1 company rebranding, 1 IPO, 75 business trips, 5 family vacations, and thankfully still 1 husband. Many terrific colleagues, wonderful teammates, world-class friends, 1 well-rounded life, and 1 Aiming High award. So in closing, I want to thank the great team of allies at Ally, who are over there, table 10. I'm incredibly grateful for your support, and many of us have been on this adventurous ride together. I also want to thank Legal Momentum for this recognition and all the extra touches along the way that make honorees feel so special. The work you do is so important, and there's still clearly so much more to be done to reach true equality and economic stability for women. I appreciate the passion and commitment that you give to these issues. I also want to thank the friends and colleagues who have lent their support to this event, and my fantastic husband, who actually had to back out at the last minute because the nanny called in today. He took yet another one for the team. And he is the main reason that I could say yes when the big career opportunity came, and I know that choice is not available to many women. So, still on husband number 1, might be looking for nanny number 8, but thank you.